All right, Scott, we're going to talk a little Ravens first, as there's a lot of news going around the flock this week.
There has been.
Yeah, man. The most recent news as of yesterday, wide receiver Michael Crabtree. He gone. Before he even hit the 1-year mark. Yeah, he's been with us officially for 11 months now.
Yeah.
The Ravens decide to cut veteran wide receiver Michael Crabtree, which he was due a $5 million base with $3 million guaranteed. Clears up about a little under $5 million of cap space. This move is kind of interesting for me. It's the wide receiver core last year obviously was completely revamped. They went out and signed 3 free agents. They went out and signed John Brown. They brought in Michael Crabtree, and they brought in Willie Snead.
Right.
John Brown on a 1-year deal. He's obviously out there as a free agent currently, and it looks to be like he's going out there and going to be signing with possibly another team.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the Ravens. At least the Ravens haven't displayed a whole lot of interest there.
Didn't look like he was the right fit with Lamar anyway.
No, I mean, we saw he was the right fit with Joe.
Right. With Joe.
Maybe we see him end up in Denver.
And that could very well be.
I
did see a tweet that John Brown put out when Flacco went there that I think it was a smiley emoji. We'll see.
Maybe he's going there. Maybe that was
a grown man sending out a smile emoji. It's kind of weird in my opinion.
My thing about this Crabtree move, like you said, it was less than 11 months. He was on a 3-year, $21 million deal.
Yeah.
So to basically say we don't even want to do anything here. It's just one of those things. It's like, wow, that was not a move that I was expecting.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, once you've already committed 1 year to completely revamping the wide receiver core, now you lose 2 of the 3 guys that you brought in, more than likely. Here we go again.
Yeah. Well, and part of it may be coming out of that the little video that you can see up here. These drops of his were a little bit of a problem. And we don't, we had a guy that had some issues with some drops.
Yeah.
When we had him, he goes to the Browns, and all of a sudden, Brashad Perryman can catch the ball.
That's the thing with Michael Crabtree, though. This isn't news about Michael Crabtree.
No.
Michael Crabtree has historically been terrible hands-wise. It does give you a red zone target, which obviously this team sorely lacks now. I mean, they do. I will say this. The one kind of saving grace about this offense that you kind of got to remember is that this team is built around the tight end position. You've got 4 really athletic tight ends on this team, 3 of which I think will actually be back with the team this year. Those 3 being the two rookies that were this year, Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, and then I think the best blocking tight end of the group, Nick Boyle. I see him coming back with the team. The one guy I do not see probably in the fold in the future, Max Williams, which is another failed 2nd-round pick for Ozzie and the Ravens there. It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
he never really panned out to what the expectation for him was, which is sad because he did have when he first came out. You saw ability. He just never was able to really truly put it together.
Exactly, and what you saw out of Lamar and the offense in the 7 weeks that he played was he relies on the tight ends pretty heavily. And him and Mark Andrews specifically had a really good rapport. And if you listen to Eric DeCosta and some of the things that he said in his press conference about blocking wide receivers being heavy importance in this offense moving forward,
right?
Neither of these guys, John Brown or Michael Crabtree, were very good at blocking.
No, they were wanting to get down the field, get the ball, and turn up field. That's what they're, and that's what I said. If you think way back when, that's one of the things that I said could be a potential issue was these guys were not wanting to be, and they're not being paid. They weren't being paid to be blocking wide receivers. They were paid to be pass catching wide receivers. So, I do question: is some of this maybe a little bit of Crabtree, like maybe exposing and saying I'm not happy with the direction, and they said, all right, fine, we'll cut ties with you and let you go to free agency. We don't know the full story. I was just, when I heard that news, that's what I was curious about is did his opinions of where this team is going play a potential role in that? Because if we think back, him and Willie Snead both expressed displeasure when Lamar originally came out.
Well, actually, I think the majority of that displeasure was more so on Willie Snead's side at the time. If you actually went back and you looked at Michael Crabtree and some of the tweets that he put out during the changeover from Flacco to Lamar was he was actually on board with, I think he called it the Lamar show, kind of, having a front seat to the Lamar show. And, it speaks to Crabtree's character because obviously his production severely dropped off once Lamar took over. But at the end of the day, the options on the free agent market for wide receivers are limited to begin with. To find what they're looking for in a wide receiver, a blocking wide receiver that's going to be okay with maybe 40 to 50, 60 at max catches in a season, that's a rarity.
That's a limited market.
It's a very, very limited market. I think they're really going to have to address that position through the draft. We talked about some of the guys that we thought the Ravens might be targeting in the draft this year. But DK Metcalf, man, have you seen pictures of this guy?
Yeah.
He is ginormous. That would be a guy that if he fell to the Ravens in the draft at 22, big body like that, I mean, doesn't get much more intimidating as a blocker than a guy that looks the size of a linebacker.
And a guy in the red zone that you can go to in that corner.
And they're going to need
off
that.
into the corner, which you're definitely going to need. You got to get him to do it.